Hi folks, Slimes and Robin here again,
Hello.
and we're back with Stonemirrors, and this is episode 6. And while we were away, in between recordings, I did some stuff, because mostly it's stuff that you've already seen me do, so it's boring to watch me do it again.
And the weasels made you do
And
it.
then the weasels, the bastard weasels, made me do it. So mainly it's designations, so I'll quickly go through what I've done and then we can move on. So we're doing our watercourse thing, and I've designated a bit more stuff to be channeled out. And under here, because it's winter, it's a good time to be digging out next to the river, because the river's all frozen.
Handy.
So I'm digging out the areas for where the pump's going to go and where the natural flow is going to go, because we're going to compare the two.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done that. I've done that. Down here, I've started designating an accommodation level.
You have been busy.
Yeah, this is kind of 4 sets of rooms for nobles in the corners there, and there's a big area for individual rooms for the king.
Looks very tidy.
And also this is going to be where the water's going to come down from the watercourse. And the cistern will be here, and just in the level above there are some trenches going into the floor of this room, which is going to be the food storage and water room. And so once those trenches have been dug, I'll dig out some more of the floor below here. But this leads me to something else that I wanted to demonstrate, which we haven't done yet, and I think would be a useful thing to show, which is how to hide all of these rocks and stuff that are lying around on the floor.
Are those actual rocks?
They're all rocks. It's just stuff that's been dug out. That's dacite.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's yellow ones.
Making the place look untidy, frankly.
Exactly. So this just hides them, so they'll still be there. They just won't be displayed.
Ah, right.
And the way you do that is with designations, and it is set to building item properties, which is on B, and lowercase h for hide items and buildings. And then, as per the usual with designations, you just draw the rectangle out that you want to do, like this. Wink.
Could you, if just for craziness purposes, could you actually hide your dwarves?
I don't believe so. No, I think that would probably be counterproductive in many ways. But so I'll just do the whole area, and everything that's will be hidden is lit up with blue there on this menu. So if I press escape, it's all gone. Right.
Okay.
But it's not quite right, because you may have noticed I've also hidden the doors and all the furniture. So because obviously you draw the area, it hides all that stuff. So I'll just unhide doors like that. And this door here, and all of this furniture here is should probably be, but I need to hide those rocks. So this takes a little bit of time, and again, it's people are watching me do designations, but it's something that's useful to know how to do. And I'll show the statue again, so we can see it, because that's important to be able to see our statue. Right, so now we've just got what appear to be empty rooms, but are in fact rooms with loads of rocks in, but we don't care. So now you can go, oh well, no, that's much tidier to look at. And the other thing that I did was fix a problem that we were having, in that there weren't any bones in our bone stockpile, and I found out why that was, and as you can see, now we're getting some bones in our bone stockpile.
Many bones.
And the problem is related to the way they do stuff with refuse. Because bones are technically refuse, and the bone stockpile is actually a refuse stockpile that's just set to have bones in it.
So you've created a separate bone stockpile?
No. The stockpile is exactly the same as it was before, but because the butcher's shop was outdoors, you have to specifically tell them to collect refuse from outdoors. They'll do it automatically from indoors, but you have to turn on doing it from outdoors, which is with set orders. There we are, set orders button, and you can see there's a section R for refuse, and this is what they do with refuse, and R is just generally gathering refuse, and O is about gathering it from outside, and you can toggle it. So ignore refuse from outside, which is what it's on by default, and I've set it to gather refuse from outside. And the butcher shop is outside and full of bones, so they've started to bring those downstairs as well, and they'll continue to do that.
So several helpful hidden settings that you need to find out about.
So yeah, it's just, and if the butcher shop had been indoors, we wouldn't have had that particular problem. But it also means that they'll go and gather up like wombat skeletons that are lying around the landscape as well.
Wombats.
Indeed. So that's done. Now there's
Excellent.
some stuff we need to do. We're going to be digging out all this stuff. I will resume the game and let them get on and do it.
Get them back to their toiling.
Work. And they'll be carrying stuff from the butcher shop downstairs as well to fill up this stockpile. But we also need to do, we need to get our levers set up for bridges and floodgates. And what we need to do with that is go to Jobs and Manager. Remember this?
Yeah.
I want a new order of mechanisms.
Ah.
Let's make 10 mechanisms. Mechanisms are used.
Sadly, not mechs then. We can't have our dwarves wandering around in battle mechs.
No, no giant robots for the dwarves. No.
A loss, I feel, for the game.
But we do need mechanisms.
Yep.
Mechanisms are used in loads of stuff, connecting levers to anything else.
So sort of like generic connecting widgets.
Yes. They're used for connecting levers to anything else. They're used for building levers in the first place. They're also used in traps, which we will come to later on, and which are useful. The other thing that I did while we were away is give everybody a nickname.
Ah, okay.
Apart from the dwarven child, because frankly, who cares? They don't do any work anyway. So now everyone's got a nickname, so we can quickly know who's doing what. And
that's helpful.
So he's our woodcrafter.
Carpentan Butch.
Yes, because he's a carpenter, a tanner, and a butcher. You see.
Aha.
And they're all useful things. I kind of did the
no wonder he's on a break.
Kind of did the primary skills for everybody, but he does a lot of useful stuff.
Yeah.
Tweaked some other people, and this was our spare dwarf who wasn't going to do anything. So I've named this dwarf Captain, because they'll be drafted into the military.
Ah, Captain of the Guard.
Yes. And
bigger hat.
Why don't we do that right now?
Get us a military. Indeed.
Well, it's a militia commander rather than captain of the guard. Later on, there actually will be a captain of the guard post.
Okay.
For now, the militia commander. So we'll make captain the militia commander. We also need a chief medical dwarf. We
had a doctor or
we
doctorate.
do. We have two doctors, and I will use this person who's named Surgeon as our chief medical dwarf. All we need now is a hospital for them to do stuff with. And what I think we should also do, which is not absolutely necessary, but I'm kind of keen on keeping track of things, and I want us to get a bookkeeper so we can make sure we know what everything's going on. And I think our manager can probably do that.
What's the bookkeeper do then? Does it give you access to a new page where it records facts and figures and stuff?
Counts everything.
Aha.
Because if I go back to here, if we look at the status stuff, you can see that there's loads of question marks everywhere. And that means we have around that many. We have around 200 drinks. We have around 700 food. And you can go to stocks and you can see everything's a bit... It's all a little bit vague.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from shields and bucklers, because we only have 10 of them, they're all accounted for.
Yeah.
And if you don't have very many things, then you can see we've got like 2 anvils. But if you've got a lot of things, then we've got roughly this many.
Yeah.
And I like to know, because sometimes it comes in useful to know exactly how many things you have and what they are.
Okay.
So that's what the bookkeeper's going to do, and the way...
Sounds like a stimulating job for the chap.
Yeah, well, stupid manager. So, the bookkeeper, what we do now is we go there and... settings, so you press S for settings on the bookkeeper, and now we choose the precision that we want to have, and you can see what they are. Currently it's on lowest precision. I'm going to set it to highest precision. So bookkeepers
takes more time.
It'll take more time, and they do need an office, but it's our manager, so the manager, she already has an office. So
excellent.
That's that sorted out.
Somewhere to refine her pointy hair.
So we've got that. I want to burn some more charcoal.
What are we going to do with this stuff?
Well, we're going to need... no, I don't want ash. That's wrong. cancel that. We are going to need more charcoal because we're going to need to smelt more ores for things. And over here we can see what sort of ores we've got. Now we've got tetrahedrite, which I believe is zinc ore. I'll just quick check over on my ore screen. Oh, tetrahedrite is copper and silver. Actually, so that's
silver.
Useful.
Tasty.
Silver's quite shiny, and you can make. It's quite heavy as well. It's quite dense, so you can make good warhammers and maces out of it. So I'm thinking we should probably smelt some of our tetrahedrite. Let's add a few of them, and we've got some other ores as well. We've got pig. We can make pig iron, can we? No, we can't. It's just always available as an option. So we haven't got any other ore available at all other than tetrahedrite at the moment. So let's smelt some more, I guess. And at that point we will make some more stuff. The merchants are leaving soon, that's fine. We've finished trading with them. So how's the digging going? The digging is going well, in fact it's done. I think. Let's have a quick look. This digging is done anyway. Yep, they've dug out up to this wall, the ice wall here. So I will quickly remove some of this rampage from over here.
Any particular reason?
Just for neatness.
All right.
And I mean, it's going to be full of water anyway. It doesn't actually matter a huge amount, but I kind of want to.
What's those things? Is that our trapdoor in the middle at the bottom of the two double lines?
Ah, yes. This down here, it's actually just a bunch of stairs. It's a bunch of designated stairs because they haven't been dug out yet.
Right.
But the idea is that we'll punch through these walls, and then when the water comes in, it'll just flow down the stairs, down these designated stairs as well, into this bit, and then through here, down to where the cistern is going to be, and they've started digging out those trenches that I wanted them to dig. So that's also good. Let's just keep
milky.
Keep going, and I want to remove some of these up ramps as well. Let's just get rid of a bunch of those.
So, do we know how long we've got until it all turns into water and floods the hell out of us?
Well, it's early winter at the moment.
Okay.
So we're good. It's all fine at the moment anyway. But there is. Sorry. At the moment it's fine. Everything's frozen. We have floodgates in place here.
Okay.
Which are closed.
This is a good start.
So that's good. But we do kind of need to attach a lever to them before the water starts flowing because it might get difficult afterwards.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I want some mechanisms made. So I don't know if we've I don't know if we've got any mechanisms currently. I don't know if the bookkeeper's had time to find out. Probably not. So is mechanisms on this
unless
list
you know
somewhere?
How many you've got, you can't actually use them.
Oh, you can. I just don't know how many we've got, and I want to know.
Right.
Mechanisms. There we are. Actually, we've got 10 mechanisms. That's plenty of mechanisms. We must have made a bunch before. So what we'll do now is we'll designate some places for levers to be. A good place to put levers is in meeting rooms, because the order to pull a lever will always be given to an idle dwarf, and idle dwarfs tend to hang out in meeting rooms.
Okay.
So we will build.
Isn't our meeting room also our food place?
It's a food place and a dormitory, yeah. But
so there's double chance they're going to be there.
Yes. So we want levers for L, and we're going to want one lever for the drawbridge and one for the floodgates.
Can you mark them with some sort of label or something?
I think so. I'm going to try and do that shortly. So
we don't get confused.
Yeah, and you get to choose the mechanisms, and for levers it's not as important.
No.
But you can choose the quality, and for traps it's important because the better the quality of the mechanism in the trap, the more effective the trap will be. Right now it's just
lethally it will splat things.
Whatever, so let's put a couple of levers. I'm going to put the lever for the water supply in the corner, I think. Actually, no, I'll put it over in this corner. We do need to label them. I think you can label them, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so we need to build levers first, and then we can link them up. So, a masterpiece has been created. He's probably just created some very, very good food, because I think he's also a cook.
Ah, right. So
But,
some masterwork food.
Yeah, which is good, because that makes people happy.
Someone's going to be very happy with their chow.
Yes, so let's... How things going up here? See, it's snowing. There's all the land's filling in with grey because it's now snowing. We've got snow-covered stuff down here.
Are there any festivals or anything like that the dwarves party down for?
Um,
or do they just live a bleary existence of working 24/7, 365 days a year?
They don't have festivals, but they will have parties.
Uh-huh.
And they'll throw parties at tables and invite some people, and when that happens, none of them will do any work. So that's very useful. Right.
But I suppose that keeps the morale up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that makes them happy is good.
Like beer.
So something just happened. Where are we? Announcements. I think we've struck hematite, actually. Brilliant. Probably.
Is iron a dead useful thing then?
It's a good metal, and it's the only thing you can make anvils. Well, iron and steel are the only things you can make anvils out of.
Ah, things we ordered.
Yeah. And the more anvils you have, the more forges you can make, and so on and on. We don't need loads of forges, but it is useful to have some to be able to make some more. And
A veritable forge world.
that is good. And I don't know how much hematite there is. I think we'll go down to here and add some tasks. Can we smelt hematite? No, it says we can't smelt it. We've probably found it in the wall, but we haven't.
Haven't actually started.
We haven't dug any out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there isn't any tetrahedrite ore left either. So.
Okay.
So we'll let them get on with doing stuff. They've dug this trench out as well, which is good, because down here, this is where the cistern is going to be. And you dig trenches down into where the water is going to be, and that means that the water will come up to just below the floor. That's the plan, anyway. Water pressure is an interesting thing in this game.
Yeah.
And by interesting, I mean potentially lethal. So we own a cistern. Let's just dig it out around here, because that's a bit of a weird shape. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, I've just remembered something else. I'm going to remove this designation. So this is going to seem slightly weird, the fact that I haven't connected those up, but it is relevant, and it's related to water pressure and how to manage it.
Water pressure is actually managed in this.
Water pressure is certainly a thing, and because this water is going to be coming from several levels above, it is something we need to take into account. And right. I think that what I'm planning to do will render the problem irrelevant, or at least it won't cause us an issue. If we do it wrong, then I'm going to put some doors on this room, just in case.
Doors will stave off water then?
Yes. The room might be flooded, but at least it won't come out into the rest of the fortress, and then we can work on draining it.
At least the door will be shut.
Wait. I need to cancel some of this, because they're actually digging out all of this stuff, which I did kind of tell them to do, but now I kind of want them to not dig out all of it, otherwise they won't be able to get back upstairs. Oh. They've removed all the ramps, and now they're trapped. Oh, you idiots. Okay.
Hilarity ensues. Can we get them to build ramps in there?
Yes. Well, I think we can probably just designate some more. Hang on. Not mining. Channeling. And I think they can do those from below.
At
least I hope so. Otherwise someone's going to have to
starve to death.
I don't think they can do those from below. It's looking increasingly like they can't. Anyway, we've got some spare space. Arg. Okay. Instead of doing that,
this sort of hilarious interlude is what.
Sometimes things, we do occasionally need a bit of a laugh, don't we? So
yeah.
Sometimes things go wrong, and then we need to sort them out.
Yeah. So, well, they got plenty of rock there. Maybe they can build themselves a ramp.
Well, they're not really builders, but what I'm going to do is just dig some stairs into this wall.
Ah, right.
So there's
Get
an
them out that
stairway
way.
there, and a downward stairway here, and I'll remove these, and they should come out now, I hope. Yep, there they go, they're digging. Way! And they've escaped. And
there was much rejoicing.
He's sitting there, but he'll hopefully realise that he can get out. So, I want to dig the rest of this watercourse out, and I want to check on the progress of our levers. We see there's an announcement that our order for construct bed 20 has been completed, so we've built 20 more beds, so that's good. And so I'll quickly jump to the job screen and build some tables. Look at all the things you can make tables out of.
Platinum table. Now
yeah,
that is posy.
That is posh, but we want some rock ones because we really don't have that kind of money.
Probably don't have any platinum either.
No. So
platinum tables.
Platinum tables, not really a thing. Rock tables, plenty of rock tables, no problem, mate. Not a problem at all. So in some more tables. For more lavish quarters, people are going to start to want places to keep things, so we also want some rock coffers, which are just chests made of rock. For really posh ones, we'll make chests out of something nicer. We don't have anything nicer to make them out of at the moment. And we want some armour stands. Can you make rock armour stands? Yes, so let's do that. The military will need these as well. And weapon racks. So your rock rack. There we go. 10 of those. Levers. I think someone's constructing a lever there, or they might just be drinking. The miners came upstairs and immediately went to sleep, because obviously it was a harrowing ordeal for them. So, anyway, so we've got this done. I really want those levers done, so that would be good. I don't know. A snowstorm has come. That's probably bad. I don't really know. I haven't.
I love your abstract analysis of the situation.
That's probably an issue. Could be problematic. I don't know. I think that means the temperature's probably going to go down even more.
Well, it's good. Well,
it's probably
they're all
bad.
Underground, so
yes, it's probably bad
good.
if anyone's caught out in it. But I don't actually know. I've never.
How does heating work in this temperature, or is that all modelled as well?
It is all modelled, and there is a temperature scale.
Can you build things like furnaces and augers or whatever?
Not explicitly, no, but it's just like if you stay underground, then you're protected from the worst ravages of temperature.
Yeah.
But there are certain biomes, and I don't think this is one of them, where extremes of temperature will kill your dwarves if they're outside. And of course, they will also do things like melt all the surface water, evaporate. That's the word. Evaporate all the surface water.
If it's very hot.
Yes, and if it's very, very hot, the fat in your dwarves' bodies will melt, and apparently that's quite an unpleasant way to die. So we probably don't want that.
No, luckily it doesn't look like a sort of environment that's going to happen. Oh, someone's become a mason.
Yeah, they kind of switch job titles around depending on what they're doing.
So it's not that their skill has reached a certain level; it's just what they're doing.
I think it's what they're doing, but it may also be what they're best at.
Right.
And you'll see it a lot with the military as well. When military people come on and off duty, then their major skill will change. Because obviously, if it's a Marksdwarf, then he becomes a Marksdwarf when he's on duty.
Yeah, and afterwards, if he's got a secondary job of
he goes back to his previous profession.
Yeah, swords to plowshares and all that.
Could you ever make this sodding lever? We really do need it.
He doesn't like levers.
The weather is cleared. Hurrah!
Yeah. I did notice the problems that everyone's having with that.
Yes. So, ooh. Well, the woodcutter was outside in it, but
yeah,
he seems to be not dead, so I guess that's fine.
That's always handy, not being dead.
He seems to have a problem. That dwarf there. I'm not entirely sure. And I've also just lost him. Ooh, that's a dwarf carrying a mechanism right there. So I think
we have a mechanism.
Yes, he's carrying a mechanism. It's a Cinnabon mechanism, so it's obviously heavy. But yes, now we've got levers. Brilliant. Okay. Now, points, routes, notes. I don't use these menus necessarily very often, but if we go to here, like we can place a marker on these floodgates. God, on these floodgates. So we can place a marker on the floodgates right there,
Yep.
and name it.
Bob.
And we can name it
Steve.
natural flow gate, because I'm being a bit literal. That's natural flow gate. And I don't know if point 2, if I place it there, then we name it to pumped gate, which means we're also going to need to build a pump, so we need to kind of get on that. And yeah, I've never used nuts before, so this may all go like horrendously badly, but put a point there and we name this
Let's hope it just goes hilariously badly.
bridge. So what I think happens is now if we go to the levers like this, find the lever, this is our drawbridge lever, and we add a new task which is to link up a bridge, B, then it goes to this bridge here.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
I thought it might show the notes, but it doesn't, so whatever. I've actually bugged that. Because I moved the cursor rather than just allowing it to do the task. Link up the bridge, dacite bridge, assign, pick a mechanism, that one should do. And we need another mechanism to use in the lever. And now the task link a building to trigger has been added to that lever.
Aha, so can we test it?
Well, we need to link it up first. It hasn't been done yet, so it needs to be linked, and then we can tell someone to pull it.
So Dwarf actually has to go and do the linking.
Yes, the linking has to be done by a mechanic. So we need to link up some floodgates. That floodgate there. Mechanisms, and we will do another floodgate, which is the quartzite one, I think. It didn't show the notes. I thought it might, but it didn't. Whatever, it's hopefully right. So we link those up, and we also need to put a water pump in here. I think this may have gone a bit wrong. Yes, I need to do something else here as well first, which is to channel out a little more of this, specifically this one. And the reason for that, I'm just going to get rid of these ramps. The reason for that is that we want the water pump to push water south. It takes up 2 squares. It takes up 2 squares, and it pumps water from the level below on one end to the same level at the other end. And so we want the back end to be here because it's going to pump water out of this tile.
Yep.
And the front end to be here because then it's in between 2 walls and it won't leak.
Handy.
So I need this tile to be dug out so we can do that. And so I will resume and let them get on with all of the stuff we've just told them to do. And hopefully I can probably build the pump right now, to be honest. Which is in machine components, I think. Capital M, screw pump, there we are. Pump from north, like that. That's what we want. And it's pumping from the north, which is right. It's pointing to the south. It's in between the 2 bits of wall. The light tile is passable by dwarves and water and everything else. The dark tile is not. So that's there. And it needs a block, which is handy. We've got loads. It needs a corkscrew. We've got one because we made it a while ago, and a pipe section, which we also made a little while ago.
That's pretty detailed, really.
Yeah, and so we'll have a screw pump there, and we'll just let them
Nice little graphics.
get on with doing all that business. And yeah, and those mechanisms will hopefully soon be connected to things. I think that's a dwarf maybe doing it to that lever there right now. Let's see.
How do you find out?
You move the cursor over it, but no, it's just a dwarf standing in the same place. But it would be the mechanic who did it.
Also, it's like that thing just below the top right lever. It looks like almost like a gravestone. It's the bed. They're sleeping.
It's a bed. Yes, they're sleeping in there. Right. Let me just check. I need to check our stocks of ammunition because I don't know how much we have. And
20.
yeah, we have 26 bolts, 16 accounted for. So we should probably make some more, really.
Yep. We like shooting things is good.
So job screen again, always. Q. Let's make some bone bolts. And this is, I think, lots, and so it won't be just 20 bolts, I don't think. But and we also want to make some bone crafts too, because that was the whole purpose of getting those bones. So 30, which is the largest number we can choose. Yep. And they will.
So is that individual bolts, not blocks of 20?
I'm not actually sure. But they'll get on with it anyway.
Yep.
So we're kind of cracking on with stuff. I think we've melted all the tetrahedrite we could. Which means we should have some silver knocking about, so if I use this key to go over here, I've got a lot of gold bars here, now I've got some copper and silver. That's nice.
Loads of stuff.
So, yeah, with the ores that do two things, so tetrahedrite is mainly copper, so you'll always get 4 copper bars from a single piece of tetrahedrite ore. You may also get 1 or more silver bars from one. So we've got a little bit of copper.
It's all looks like we got a reasonable sorts of things that can make us cash.
Yes, and so what I think we might do, we might be well employed.
Is that an anvil there?
It's the one that's in the forge.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Because all those little components flashing away there are part of said forge.
But what I think we should do is make a couple more statues to make people happy. Also, because it'll get our metalsmith's skill up a little bit, so we'll make a couple more statues. Lots of things happening. So what I think we'll try and do, hopefully, is everything. Stoneworker Olenosuk has created a masterpiece. Let's find out what that is.
That sounds expensive.
Oh, I can't zoom to location, but you don't know what it is. So he might have just been making like a bolt.
Yeah.
And he's just created a second masterpiece, which I think means that is exactly what's happening. Let's see if he's down here.
Well, it also bodes well if he keeps making masterpieces.
It means he's very good at what he's doing already.
Yeah.
But I don't. Oh, actually, no. He's probably doing the stonework in the mason's workshop. Let's see. Is that him there? Yeah. He's doing stuff in the mason's workshop, and that workshop is currently making coffers. So anyway, there'll be nice quality rock coffers, which is all fine. And it means he's very good at what he's doing, which is also good because everything he makes will be brilliant. So if he's also going to be making mechanisms, which he probably isn't, and the mechanic does that. The mechanic is making mechanisms in the mechanic's workshop right now. And have the levers been connected up yet? Scroll. No. Again, that's something that the mechanic does, and so he's busy making mechanisms. But so I don't know when he'll do that. Let's have a look. How many mechanisms left? Oh, there's only one make mechanisms task left. So when he's done with that, he will hopefully go and link up those levers. And then we'll be done. Come on. Link up the levers.
Link those levers.
Link the levers.
Work it. Link it.
Right. Waiting for them to build their stupid mechanisms. I think I saw someone carrying some there. Ah, yes. That lever's being linked up now in the top right corner, which is the bridge. I think he's probably gone to get mechanisms to link everything else as well. So, hurrah. Let's check this. Yeah, it looks like that one's done.
It's groovy.
So, you do have to be a little bit careful when testing a drawbridge to make sure nobody's standing on it at the time. but it looks like the guys who were digging up here have finished. So I think we're good. That pump's been built, which is good. Well, he's connecting the floodgate mechanisms now. He's just carrying them over here. There he is doing it. That's good. Come on. And he's buggered off again. So yeah, so we're about to get those done. I don't want to try testing the drawbridge just yet because he might be standing on it, and we don't want to kind of launch him into orbit. It's very, very bad.
Is it a
What's
bit painful?
this thing? There is,
I think it could be hilarious.
There's a peregrine there.
Ooh. Can we capture and tame hunting birds?
I'm wondering what it's doing, because it seems to be... There's a couple of them kind of flying around the fortress. Maybe they're hunting rats or whatever. I think our hunter will probably shoot them down if he gets the opportunity, but... Right, while we're waiting for that to be done, down on this level, I'm going to just quickly do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to hide some of these rocks. So it's like, just hide all the ones over on this side. And I want to put a couple of stockpiles in here, I think. I knew what I was going to do, and I forgot. Furniture storage. So we'll put a furniture stockpile in here. So we're not really using the rest of this room for anything else.
Yep.
So we'll put stockpile for furniture there in that corner. And upstairs, quite near the entrance, I thought we could probably use an ammo stockpile. That seems like a thing that would be useful. So
things to shoot things.
Yeah. So these are stockpiles. I think what I want to do is actually remove them. If I can remember how. X to remove designation. So if we just do this over, because we've got a couple of stockpiles here which are just full of junk. So if we get rid of those, then some stuff will be taken out of them and taken away.
What, then move them to other stockpiles?
Yeah, if there are other stockpiles for those items, then they will take them away. We need more empty storage items for our booze, and so let's quickly jump to the manager screen. New order of rock pots. Let's make 30 more of them. We need some bins as well to store things in. I'm not sure what you can make bins out of. Quite a lot of things, but mainly metal. Just kind of what I was worried about. If we had some lead or tin or whatever, I'd be perfectly happy making some tin bins or some lead bins, but I don't really want to use the very small amount of copper we've got so far to make bins out of.
Yeah.
But bins are useful because you put them in stockpiles and you put things in the bin, and then you have a bunch of stuff taking up one tile rather than one tile per item. But we'll come back to that. I think these may be linked up now. Let's go and see by pressing Q. Yes, the lever's linked. Hurrah!
Hurrah.
So what we'll do is add a task, which is capital P, pull the lever. And this is the floodgate one, so
okay.
It would have no adverse effects on any
Hopefully
of
we'll
the
be able to
dwarves.
see that actually something happens though.
Yes, they should disappear. So just in a short while, a dwarf should go over and pull that lever, and then the floodgates should vanish. And go.
Engage.
Activate. Hey,
Yay!
there we go.
They've gone.
Floodgates are open. Now we need to close them again.
Just as we run out of booze.
So this lever's on now. As you can see, it says on.
Yep.
So we just pull the lever again, and that will close the floodgates again. That dwarf's doing it right now, I think. Yes, now they're closed again. So the floodgates are working. I'm going to assume that the one next to the bridge is working as well.
Technology.
Shall we do? Let's just try the bridge one as well. Screw it.
Yep.
And just hope that
The
no
worst
one's
that can
crossing the
happen
bridge
is-
at the time.
Yeah. Hope we don't fire a dwarf into.
Into space. So there it is. Look, the drawbridge is open,
Excellent.
and there was nobody on it. So double bonus.
That's handy.
And now we just have to hope that nobody walks onto where it lowers onto while it's being lowered. Because that's also bad. This,
Yeah.
these 3 tiles here,
Designated death zones.
we don't want anyone to be standing on those when this happens.
Yeah.
And pull the lever. Oh, I need to unpause it first.
Yeah, that would help.
There we go. Bridge is working. Excellent. And that seems like a good place to end this episode. Our mechanisms,
Lever's working. Dwarf's
mechanisms are functional. Floodgates are functional. Got the screw pump. The screw pump's been built. I don't know if I pointed that out before, but you can see it changes shade, and it has actually been built. You can see everything. It's on a stable foundation. That's good. And there's no power because it needs power to run, but you can activate it manually, which is what we're going to do just for the demonstration. You can connect windmills and water wheels to it, and it'll run automatically. And we may build something later, but not now. Okay, so that'll do for this episode. We'll finish digging out the cistern and stuff next time around, and we'll come back and see you all again then. So bye.
Toodaloo.